I will call. I'm sorry, forgot about that. It is 7 o'clock. I'm going to call the regular meeting of Savoy ISD monthly meeting to order. At this time, we have a quorum. All are present. At this time, I'll ask Ken to say the invocation, please.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here safely. We thank you for the awesome responsibility you've entrusted us with to be on the school board. Lord, I ask that you please guide and direct us in what you want us to do here. Pray that you will be with us throughout. Your beloved Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
At this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the flag. I pledge allegiance to the nations of Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Thank y'all. All right, at this time, we have, we'll have the student and teacher of the month and the Savoy Standard. Who's up? All right.
He's queued up and ready. So our student of mine, I have the great privilege of getting to teach Taylor for a couple of months. But Taylor Cornwell, nominated by Miss Martin, and had a lot of great things to say about Taylor. An excellent student. She's a junior taking pre-cal, which is already a tough thing to do. A talented artist. She's created countdown calendar for Algebra 1 kids before their end of course exams. And also, as y'all have met her, she's a great volleyball player, great student walking the hallway, one of the kindest students that we have on our campus. Certainly a wonderful, wonderful kiddo. So definitely deserving of this honor for sure. So congratulations.
Ryan, you see that sweatshirt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's not perfect.
All right, so our Savoy standard, and when we say the word standard, it really means setting the bar high. Mr. Gower Lester is, comes into education from the business side of things, and as far as doing everything in a professional manner, always on top of things. He is asking for things, always making sure that he is checking everything off and doing everything exactly right. He's new there and I'm new there. And one of the greatest things that I get to do every morning is I get to sit at that front door at 7 o'clock, and I know that Mr. Lester's going to come up and he's going to have his cup of coffee, and we're going to get to just sit there and greet students for 45 or 50 minutes in the mornings. And that's one of the things that I really look forward to each and every time. But setting the standard, he's a great ag teacher. He keeps his students engaged. He's always looking for new projects for students. He has taken some students that were told, you can't do this, you'll never be able to do this, or students that told themselves, I'll never be able to do this, into the ag shop, not only to try it, but to thrive in the things that they're doing. He models what it means to be a man for so many of our students. He talks to them about what that means, talks to them about integrity and doing what's right. Talks about perseverance, and he understands this is what it's going to take for you to do whatever it is you want to do in life, to be someone who has that kind of integrity and character. And beyond anything that he does curricularly, the things he does in conversations with students is amazing. So I'm super proud to just be in the same sentence as Mr. Lester. So come over here. He did that. Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I will. So our teacher of the month is Coach Friedman. She has also been nominated as our Farm Bureau Teacher of the Month. She got, she's in a very different role, teaching home economics this year, and has always done, so far this year has been scouring everything, supplies that we have, asking for donations for materials. They cook and make our hallway smell good every Friday. They're sewing, they're making sock monkeys and little gnomes. And, they're doing all sorts of projects and kind of crowdsourcing some of that stuff. Inherited a lot of kids that semester. We had just a change in how we had, an elective set up. So got a few more kids and got a bigger class, but always keeping those kids, engaged and working hard. And it's really nice to see that, that there are other ways that our kids are being engaged in class and doing some things that are really challenging, but something that they're going to use over and over again. So if you do see Coach Freeman, just give her a big pat on the back. She's doing a great job.
Start with my teacher real quick. She's hopefully gonna help me do the student, because it's actually her recommendation. So we're gonna start with Ms. Richards. You wanna go ahead and come up? She is our teacher of the month. I actually got a strange email on her today. She's one of our reading recovery, not reading recovery students. She's one of our reading academy teachers. We got, I think, 4, week's going through it right now too. We have about 4 going through that reading academy with, if you remember, is an extensive 11-month journey during the school year. I actually got an email bragging on her. She's actually about 3 modules ahead on a reading academy, which is a huge task. It's really, and she can probably speak to it better than I can. It's been a year since I've done it, but definitely positive. She's about 2 modules ahead of the other teachers, even Miss Sweet over there. She got her beat, so pretty impressive. But Ms. Richards is one of our 2nd grade teachers, a veteran teacher here. Just does an awesome job with all of our students. She's got one of her students here tonight too. She's recognizing, or we're recognizing as our student of the month. But Ms. Richards is actually one of the reasons why I came back to this award. She approached me about coming back and at a funeral of my aunts, and here I am today as well. So she definitely has a lot of influence on our campus. She is probably, when I look at teachers and where we've gone through COVID and technology growth, Ms. Richards was probably one of the, how do you put it nicely, least computer friendly employees that we have. But she has come on a long journey. Just for her to be in the Reading Academy, it's all online module based, and be ahead of the schedule on that is another task. But even the iPads that we've implemented in the classroom, if you're trying to implement those and really continue to grow, even as a veteran teacher. So she is our teacher of the month. So here we help me do Tristan's. Our student of the month is, oh, you need that. We don't need it back. Mr. Tristan Smith. This guy right here. This guy is my CC's buddy right here, aren't you? Yeah. So I think you're 2nd grade, so I guess at least for 2 years, he's been on a journey with me every single 6 weeks or 9 weeks at our superintendent's honor roll award thing. One thing stuck out when Miss Richards brought him to me. He's definitely been on that journey and on that CC's bus every time. So I could see why she chose him as her student of the month. I'm not gonna read it. You want to share anything?
I just want to say, not only are his grades just right up the top, but his behavior too. Ever since the beginning of the school year, I've been bragging to you about, how he is in the room. And he's always just quiet and he's on task and he's just awesome. And I just can't say enough good about him.
All right, so Tristan Smith is our. Congratulations.
Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you.
And my Savoy standard of the month, I chose James Bailey. If you want to come up, I thought he was going to share before I was tonight. James came to me and Mr. Morris, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago about donating some items, to the school. And, there's some carpets and you may want to talk to that as well. But there's some carpets he wanted to donate through their business, Allure as well. Wanted to give back to the school. So their target goal is to put together $2,000 or raise $2,000 to get carpets for our entryways that has our Savoy Cardinal logo, and from my understanding, he's already met, I think 2, maybe 3,
I have 5 of 8.
5 of 8.
5 of 8.
We're working on
Working on 5, but we have 4 right now.
So just to speak to his, James came on board with us, I think last year or
A couple years
a couple of years ago, and he's one of those guys that anytime I ask him to do something, you don't have to worry about it. He takes care of it. And all of our maintenance and custodian people are that way, but James, I don't have to ever worry about it. It's done, it's taken care of, and I appreciate that about him. But really, the standard going above and beyond. I know he has a business now, and to want to give back to the school that way, I thought he deserved the Savoy standard. So, Mr. James, with that.
That's him.
Trying to get back. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna say we just show him off.
Okay. Thank y'all very much. Congratulations to all the winners this month. Right now we have public forum. Okay. This is, from James Bailey.
You can stand up.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you guys know who I am. I'm James Bailey, and I had an opportunity to take over the Bird's Nest. And I love this little town, I love this community, and I love the school district. And I'm glad had an opportunity to get hired on with you guys. And one thing I noticed that I wanted to give back to the community right away and give back to the school district right away. So I took on this adventure with my wife and my family at the Bird's Nest. And my goal is to give you guys 8 carpets, 4 for the high school and 4 for the elementary. Because when I go into other schools, they got school pride, they got school spirit. And if I can get the little people here now, before they make it to high school, those guys are gonna probably come back, because I'm kind of seeing that our high school kids are just trying to graduate and get out the door. We may not see them, but if I can get them to have school pride, school spirit now, then they're gonna probably stick around and Savoy will prosper because of that. And so what I did, with permission and an approval, my wife and I want to donate. Come help me, Jason.
No, you're not being there.
My son and I and my family would like to donate these 8 carpets to the Savoy Elementary School and High School. They're the entrance carpets. It shows that Savoy ISD with a new logo and Cardinal Pride, because that's all I want us to do is be prideful of our school.
Okay.
Show some pride in who we are and what we're about and where we're gonna go. So this one is gonna be in the elementary entrance. And then we have more coming. I have 2 more coming. And those 2 are gonna go to the high school. They'll be in on Friday. And so we'll put those in. So on Tuesday, when you guys come in, you'll have some new carpets in the front entrance. It shows our pride. I'm sorry about my dog. Hello, Craig. So this will be entered in to Mr. Henderson's front lobby there when he gets to school. So I thank you guys for the opportunity to let me do this. And just to let you know, we're trying to do our best to accommodate whatever we need to. We got the softball banner and baseball banner to support yearbook also. Again, thank you guys.
Thank you, Richard.
And hey, that money is in between you and that many, they said, can't get it. but it's not your fault, so don't worry about it.
Okay, well, we're gonna get it figured out.
Yes, I'm
We'll get-
working on it.
We're gonna get it figured out. All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. At this time, we'll move out of procedural, move into consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we accept consent agenda as presented.
A second.
I have a motion made by Marvin, seconded by Ken to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. All right, we'll move to reports, elementary, Dan Henderson.
I just had a few things on there, just, things coming up. We haven't gotten our second semester. One of the things I've tried to do, I think it's the third year we've done PAL. We had 4 6th graders that we identified, that started Monday, met with them this afternoon to see how their week went. They're going into those classrooms. We've got 4 teachers that, brought them in and, they're helping basically be mentors, to some of our students, and we're excited about that. We've got a few more kids, but we're at 4, that we felt could leave their cardinal time, intervention time, so. And then 5th grade science trip is getting really close. It's April 25th, I think. 2-night, 3-day venture. We are asking right now, I think our students are at the fundraising phase of approaching businesses themselves, see if they could get some business donations. Science trip, we had, all the students are going. We did have one student, except for one. And there's a medical situation with that one, but we're excited that a large majority, which we were hoping to get all, but, a large majority of our 5th graders will be attending, that science trip. I'm pretty excited about that. Also PTO, we met, just before this meeting, and we are gonna have our spring festival again. We got that organized. It's gonna be April the 21st. It'll be right out here, pending weather again. Pretty excited about bringing that back. They decided to do it in the spring again. It went very well last year, so we kind of talked about it back in the fall, and they decided the spring because it went so well the year before to keep trying it there. So PTO will be putting that on. April the 21st, Friday. Put star dates on there. Star's a little different. They've kind of restructured star to give us 2-week windows, basically 3 2-week windows. So you'll see some dates that are popping into April there for star testing, which was typically all done in May last year, but they've basically given us 2-week windows for each cycle, but they overlap, so it's really a 3-week window to do all of the testing. So those dates are there as well. That's all I have.
And what about your middle of the year test that you did through map testing? What does that show the kids are?
Our teachers restructured that, went really well. The 2 areas of concern was, the math, 6th grade math, and, 5th grade science and 4th grade math going in just from our target scores from last year. We saw a lot of growth between the beginning of the year and middle of the year. I don't have the numbers right in front of me. 4th grade, which is our 4th grade math data from STAR. We had 13 students at that point last year that didn't get on, so we've really been working on making sure those kids were getting intervention. We're down to 6 at the middle of the year that are showing and projected not to pass. We've got 6 or 7 that are at least showing, according to maps, to be at that level of passing. So definitely in the 2 areas that we had concerns in.
So the 13 were in 3rd grade last year, and this year
4th grade, now they're 5th grade.
5th graders, okay.
That was on the math side. It was some odd data when we looked at it last year. So we've really been hyper focused on making sure all those kids, even through House Bill 4545, were getting their required hours, but trying to put that extra time during those cardinal times as well. But our teachers met back after the first of the year, or after the test was given, which was second week of January, I think. We restructured our cardinal times. Any kid that was tier 3 that needed to go back to or tier two, that need to go back to tier three, we did have a couple of those. On the data, there was a couple of regular ed kids that popped up down in the no pass area. Identifying that with some drop-in data, and that was some effort issues, but most of our not passing, I've got that in a spreadsheet I'll share with y'all. But most of the non-passing were either in 504 the sped category. There was a couple of regular ed kids that popped up on it, but due to maps, it looked like it was an effort issue. So some of them we retested, some of them we just kept the data and moved forward. Actually moved a few over into tier three, which puts them in a totally different lane, and they won't like that because there's no real free time during that cardinal time period. So, but yeah, I think overall, very successful. Our teachers have taken ownership to maps. When I first got here, we were having to drive all those discussions. Now, when we come to meet, they've got all that information ready for us. So I feel pretty comfortable where we're at, and obviously this is crunch time for us. The next two months before the test is here, so and those teachers are getting it during those cardinal times right now. Not sure if that answered the question, but I was very satisfied with where our data was. I've got that in a spreadsheet, and I did break it out a little bit where it was showing. When I shared it last time, kind of breaking that out. I can't break it out by kid and specific to a kid, but kind of specific to how many are in the 504, how many are in the SPED, how many are regular that are not meeting those categories right now.
So out of curiosity, Danny, and this is something maybe y'all talked about before, but like on sped kids and stuff, I mean, do they still take the STAR test? Just like, and
I mean,
then
there's a level where
they have a
take
different,
different variety, but most of
yeah, that's
those
what I'm,
kids for us would go to mono.
okay,
All of my kids right now that are here are taking a regular
okay,
STAR test, but that doesn't mean they're on grade level.
right,
We've got several sped kids off grade level because of their disability.
right,
But state kind of took away, it used to be called the STAR M. It was kind of a modified test for those, the state took those away. So you got to go the big stuff from a regular test all the way to an alt or qualification for an alt tester. You're having to give the test to get differently spotted. It's a big level.
big jump, yeah.
It's a level. Most of our kids.
So those kind of get, I mean, yeah, so it's,
So we have some special ed kids,
Right.
that have some grade level deficiencies
Right.
and learning disabilities that are not
still have
on
to take
grade
the
level,
regular.
that still have to take the regular test. Yeah, we try to give them all the accommodations we can with the oral administrations and manipulatives and everything we can help
Do to help.
at the same time. There's a few kids that, because of.
I just wasn't sure how that worked on those. I didn't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
having a STAR M would have been
Right,
continued to be nice, but they just took it away. So kids kind of end up hitting your data.
right.
That are just off regular level. Not that we don't work with them. They're in a cardinal time.
Right, no, I get it, I get it. I was just wondering how that worked, if they did, if they, yeah. You're
But you do have a way at the end of the year to at least see how much growth they had.
Every time we do.
Even if they don't have, still aren't on grade level, they still made progress, though, and they're working toward that. Then,
I mean, they're getting a year of education. Every kid should show progress on maths. Because we're
Right.
focused on different skills and different things. So if we're not seeing that progress, now sometimes that does lean to a SPED evaluation. For us, we take those data points into every meeting, every 504, and we want to see those kids continue to grow. It's just they're not growing to the rate that it would put them up to that passing standard, unfortunately.
Right.
And the tests are hard. I mean,
Yeah, no, I can see that would be,
a fourth, fifth, and sixth grade test is challenging for a kid that's maybe reading on a second or third grade level.
And I'm gonna include in y'all's weekly update tomorrow. We had a Commissioner Morath, we had a commissioner's meeting with him today. And we talked at length about STAR redesign, and testing and standards, and I will include, I've got a lot. Y'all are gonna get a lengthy weekly update tomorrow, and a bunch from the commissioners gonna be included in that.
Anybody else?
So that test was supposed to increase in is supposed to get harder each year, right? Did they kind of pull back on that because of
During COVID,
COVID?
they did just a little bit, but it's on that
It's-
continuous path to get
Okay,
to that 70 range, but they're still, some of the passing rates, I think, are still around that 55% range. They kind of started down in the 35-40%
yeah,
range, but they have steadily increased over, that's been in effect now for what, 4 or 5 years.
and MAPS is sufficient to give us benchmark testing and show the growth. You like that?
So that shows exactly where kids are.
Yeah, okay,
And it does do a comparison to STAR, a projected
okay.
where they're gonna land on the scales.
Is it shown to be pretty accurate in that when you
Well, the
look?
first year was 92% accurate. So we're very satisfied. Last
Yeah.
year, that fourth grade data threw us for a loop because our map data was not showing that.
Was it showing that they were gonna do worse or better?
But it's also a kid taking a test on one day, so.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
And I can speak to that on my kid who's not at the star level yet, but they still, down in first grade, they benchmark and they track. And when Jackson gets on the iPad, it is, unless when you better do this, or when you get home and you're gonna be in some trouble, he'll just click through it and get through it. And you really got to coach him up and train him to do this right. This stuff. Now, my son, I'm not saying all of them, but do it like you're taught to do it and use your knowledge and use your skills. And it, like he said, it comes down to one kid on one day.
Right.
We did, we made the jump to go online testing last year. Now we showed a lot of success all the way through. There was a couple of pocket areas that were like, that didn't quite match up, but I think it definitely has the validity for us to make decisions off of placement.
Right.
In those intervention times, without a doubt. There's no doubt that those kids that we're identifying that tier 3, there need to be a tier 3.
Right.
Kid, no matter how you look at them, whether it's STAR or MAPS or just general knowledge in the classroom.
So overall, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, it's a great tracking 3 times a year. Our biggest one is the middle of the year, because you're getting that. 'Cause in my opinion, the beginning of the year is kind of.
Right, they come back in, rusty.
Off the summer. Sometimes you see some of that regression, but that middle of the year, with all the interventions that we put in place, especially for those kids that we've got in those interventions, are they showing that progress that we want them to? And 99% of the time, they are. They just may not be to that level. Of
Right.
With those interventions.
Daniel, when you get up into, sorry, go ahead, Ms. Long.
No, I'm through. You answered my question.
Will you talk about that as well, Daniel? How y'all, you track the data in your percentages of kids that we're not, or you personally aren't looking to get kids to approaches, but to meets and masters, and talk about the percentages to get to approach meets and masters and that, what score they have to have?
And I'll bring that back. I've got it in the works. With maps, I'll bring that breakdown per grade level based off of our middle of the year. STAR, and I'll share it what everyone wants us to do.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
For mine, I had to present on. I have some just 7th and 8th grade math, middle of the year stuff. It's the only one I have currently. We pass those around. That way, but as far as just everything else on the report, the other good and great things to report. I know that I saw on the agenda we have beta to mention also differently, so I don't know. I think we're leaning all of those things.
Talk about it.
We took 32 students to the state convention, and we had 19 of them that qualified for national meets. So I think it's incredible to see those. It was something that I was quote unquote in beta club as a high school student and had no idea if it was a state organization or a national organization, but to get to see some kids compete in some competitions was really kind of in their comfort zone, and for some students to do some things that they may not have thought they're capable of doing, or getting to see it at a state level was really kind of eye-opening for me. We also received an achievement award. We are a national school of merit. We also showed over 10% growth in our beta club program enrollment, so we were recognized at the state convention for that also. So kudos to Ms. Cutler in her first year of being I guess the senior beta sponsor. So that was excellent for our kiddos. We also had, for the first time, we've entered a UIL film festival. So when we entered this, UIL Young Filmmakers Competition, we are grouped with 1A and 2A and 3A schools. We went on to the semifinal round, and we were the only 1A school that made it to the semifinal round. We were one place away, from making it to state level, making it to state. So I'm really proud of those, team members. There were 6 students that worked on that along with Miss C. Tyrot. So, new groundbreaking things, always looking for opportunities for our students to excel, to grow. And that was something that was really, really neat. Another thing along the line of student accomplishment and achievement. We've had some students in the past, as I alluded to, Mr. Lester, that they couldn't, or they wouldn't be able to, or it wouldn't be a good environment. We also had some students in our special education program that were just said that you're not ever going to be able to be at grade level, and we're just sat there. And they were resourced since as long as they were in our building. And we have, at this point, we have 5 students who have now had arts that they have entered general education classroom with support. They're getting grade level instruction. It's hard because I hear about it every day, every time. But these kids have never received grade level instruction in English and in math, and we're still assessed by the state at that grade level. So now they're getting exposed to material and rigor that they've never seen. And now they're getting it firsthand and learning, hey, I feel like I can do this. So I think that we are moving things in a very, very, very good direction. I like to use the term better. I don't like to ever say that things are bad, but hopefully that we see each month things are better. We're moving toward better. As far as data here, these are 7th and 8th grade unit exams in the middle of January. We did some unit reviews of some concepts of some unit that our 7th and 8th graders would have gotten in the first semester, just to kind of assess and see where we were. So we do have some stuff that's, obviously not ideal. We have some kids that, in some units approaches, we're at 60%, 40%, and just looking at other data from other years. We have one of these where we have 0 approaches, and for the most part, 7th and 8th in Algebra 1, the approaches standard says passing is about 55%. Those Algebra 1 students, you have 54 questions on this test. There will be 62. There will be 8 field test questions. You need to get 30 of these dudes right. And I would tell them that from day one. You need to get 30 of these questions right, because we know where that standard is. And
I'm gonna interrupt for a minute there when Daniel's talking about approaches, meets, and masters. And he can talk about the percentage of passing. How many questions you gotta get to get approaches, meets, or masters? Well, we want to be an ideal school, an A school, which we are right on the cusp of that. We need 90% of our kids need to be at approaches, 60% need to be at meets, and 30% need to be at masters. If we hit that 90, 60, 30 every year, every test, we are, when I came here, I said premier school in Northeast Texas, premier small school. That is going to put us at the premier small school in Northeast Texas. That is A, year in, year out. No, we're doing what we need to do. And we're going well above what we need to do. Our kids are excelling.
That is the expectation is that's where we need to be, where we want to be. So
Can I just ask you on that 8th grade math unit 2? That seems to be the lowest score. What does that cover? Fractions or what?
8th grade math unit 2. I'm gonna look at these. I don't I think I've got my Algebra 1 standards memorized, but I would have to go and look up what that is. I know that their unit 1 is magnitude of rational numbers, kind of categorizing and organizing what those are. I'd have to go and look those things up. But that was definitely something that was it was a short test with only 3 of those SEs covered, and it was something that there was a struggle in there for sure. But I'd have to go and double check that out. printed these things out, and I didn't bring, I was gonna bring my the year at a glance that was gonna go with them, and I failed to do. But I can definitely, get that to you as soon as we like.
I just think we really do need to know, that weak area to really put some emphasis on SM. I guess it's standard 8-1, 8-11, and 8. Well, you've got
Yes,
those
and
B's
they're
and
just-
C's and all that,
Yes,
yeah.
and I just don't have them.
Right, that's okay, I can look it up.
But, yeah, it is, it's being addressed. There are, students that are being, served with tutorials. I have those students, 30 minutes a day until we have the end of our 9-week grading period on March the 10th. It's also the end of that tutorial block, where we're gonna reassess where we are with our students. And then we have the ability to pull small groups and selected students on selected days for selected intervention, where we're not all the students all the time for their required 30 hours, but we do have teachers who can say, I can have this small group of students who didn't perform well on this subsection, this TEAC subcluster, we can work on this skill. So we have some flexibility for the 5 to 6 weeks leading up to those STAR tests. So that is something that the state's not telling us now, you have to remediate. We've done the 30 hours, and now we can actually pull the kids that we need this targeted, because, well, I can't have those students in English because they're in math remediation. So we actually have some flexibility for all of such kids.
Okay.
That'll be a good thing when we get to March 10th.
Awesome. Kudos on the 5 SPED students being put in regular ed, because it is ridiculous. I come from a special ed background, so I just can't forget, we don't teach them the grade level standards, but then they're tested on them. And then we're, it's not our fault, it's what the state requires, But yeah, I'm so glad you pulled them out.
We teach them. And I think, it was a disservice, but it's been better.
Yeah, good.
We're
Well,
doing
I'm
better.
very happy to hear that.
Okay, anybody got anything else? All right,
Good job.
Vince, athletics,
Athletics, and I have some of it in my other report as well, but on the athletic side, most everybody was there Monday, at our girls playoff game and competed and, did a great job. And like every one of you have told me how good of a job the girls are doing and how proud the community is. And Coach Bates is, just rolling with it and loving it. Coach Clapp started we're into softball now. The day after, what was that, Monday, Tuesday? I guess it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I saw the softball bus or one of the buses over at the softball field late. And I said, oh, man, are they still out there practicing? It's dark. And he said, no, I got the bus stuck over there. We were over there practicing. It was real rainy and muddy, so the bus is stuck over there, but they got it out there practicing. Baseball starts. He gave them off Wednesday. They practice today. They're going to Perrin. Is it Perrin tomorrow? Perrin Monday. So we're rocking and rolling with baseball. First softball tournament is 16, we have 12, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 days away. We're in tournament season. Now we're in track, tennis, now we're in golf, baseball, softball. Mr. Lester's had an extracurricular. I'm gonna kind of go into that, but he had kids at San Antonio. Kid plays 7th, right, in one of the shows.
Placed 8th out of 22. I was tired of miscounting.
8, okay, so just 8 out of 22. Daniel talked about the beta. One Act Play has started, and I'll talk more about that in the extracurriculars, but it's that time. I mean, we're about to be on the road nonstop.
springtime.
So what are we gonna do about the softball field this year?
Well, we've got to call in, like last year, just to get some sand donated, and some dirt donated to fill it, kind of how we did last year, but I went, can't pull my phone out, but I have all the pictures.
Are they able to practice? Cause it seems like as much rain as we've gotten and everything too.
Sometimes, but if it rains, no, it'll dry up for a day, they can get on it. And then when it rains again, I'm telling you, the pictures I have, it's like, it's like the lake's white capping when that wind's blowing, you can just see it, so.
Oh, wow.
They went to the weight room and they threw and did long toss and stuff out here.
But we are gonna get some dirt to put on the softball field here shortly,
It's the
right?
same Terry, I can't think of his last name, that we met with probably about this time last year that donated. to Coach Rowland.
Out to one of the, from the sand plant
Mhm.
or one of the
They
assemblies.
still have the problem where they can't deliver it, somebody else is gonna have to deliver it.
Yeah, well, that,
That's what,
Yeah,
I mean, we-
same thing
We
we
pay-
can have as much as we want, we just gotta get it.
Well, when we pay, I mean, pay Johnny or one of them to deliver it up here, if that's, you know, if we're getting the sand for free. Hey, what did the numbers turn out being in each of the softball signups and baseball? signups?
I don't have the
11 for
numbers.
Softball, I don't know the number on baseball, off the top of my head. I talked to.
When they have their meeting yesterday, baseball. He asked me Tuesday night to give him off Wednesday and today's Thursday, so
Okay.
we'll just find out today.
Not even sure yet who else playing,
Yeah.
but I mean, we got enough.
Oh,
Have a
certainly,
baseball team.
yes.
quite a few out there.
And then, Coach Fagan is doing tennis, Coach Bates is doing golf. Track is Coach Guzman, Coach Townsend, Coach. Streetman, am I missing anybody?
Coach Townsend is assistant side.
Oh, that's right, we had a change, Coach Townsend is gonna be with Coach Platt for softball. Coach Frazier is with Coach. John, man, I'm Coach Johnson with baseball, and then everybody else will be all hands on deck for track. We don't have a track, so Bells and Bonham both have said. Bonham has said anytime, if we're running, y'all come on, if we're not running, y'all come on. The only thing we may have to schedule around is youth soccer. Bells has said. Y'all can come on as soon as we are off the track, but Bonham said y'all can just come run with us.
And Bill's ain't gonna charge us this year.
Neither are gonna charge. And that is it for athletics.
I suggested, told Gene is after track's over with, we'll probably send both schools a big thank you. Thanking them for hospitality.
Okay.
Okay, technology department, we got it in your report.
Which pretty much is our secure entry, just updated, we're about 80% complete. The gym and the field house, that should be done probably by next week, and they're gonna move on to the high school, so in about 2 weeks, everything should be live. Right now, we're testing at elementary, every barracks to get in. And it seems to be work pretty good, and everybody seems to like it, so
So we do have an antenna for the internet
for backup,
for backup.
yes.
Okay, I was just wondering why Mr. Bailey was climbing it the other day.
Well, because
I did like put it on Facebook.
the field house need the internet. The only way to get internet over there is to supply a wireless link to them.
Okay,
And then the ice they destroyed the cable. The cable just got shorted, so we had to run new cable. And then we're gonna wait till football season, but the new secure entry needs the link to elementary, so it had to be done this year. That's what we did. So, and then the intercom should be in about 2 and it should be completed. They just take about 7 days to install and 1 day to switch over. Everything should be good. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, anybody got any questions for Pete? All right, thank you, Pete. Maintenance report. Anybody got questions for Joe? If not. All right, Joe, you got all the light this month.
I got a question for Jance on the, I guess, falls and maintenance. Do you hear anything else? You said the guy was gonna come look at the gym floor this.
No, he hasn't called me this week, so it's probably been 10 days since I've talked to him. I'll check back with him tomorrow.
You did say, I don't.
But the guy, so the gym floor over here, I finally got a hold of, it's LCS or RCS out of White Settlement by Fort Worth. And they remember the job and they were, he asked what was happening, what's going on with the floor. And I told him, and I sent him some pictures. You can see kind of where it's tapping is a word for it. And he told me that, yep, I remember the job. I know exactly what's happening. It's got some moisture in there. It's pulled apart, it's glued down, or he kind of basically said glued down. It's pulled apart. It's capping. I said, well, what do we do to fix it? You can't. You tear it up and you do it again. Or you put a wood floor down, it's out of warranty. It's a 1-year warranty just on the floor. If that were to happen, this was 2015 or 16 job. So there's nothing we can do. We can't, nope. He pulled up our policy. This is what it is. I said, well, how come in 7 years, it's already torn up? And he said that the quality we got, that he would not ever recommend that again. So,
If we'd have got the good quality, it would have done the same thing, since we got a moisture problem.
no, the stuff he's talking about now,
Breathe maybe,
he said,
so we're gonna have
and I
to.
don't know if there's been a technology change or whatever in the 7 years, but just what we got, he said, we don't even do that anymore. We don't sell that. We're not gonna put that down. And if we don't want that problem, tear it up and do it again.
We're gonna have to have a breathable product.
He's coming out to look.
No, it's expensive, but I'd prefer to see a wood floor go back in there. I mean,
But didn't we fix the moisture problem? We added fans,
We put the.
some kind of
the
circulation.
Circulation deal underneath it. We also put in the dehydrators to.
Wood, if we went with wood, he said it'd be $19 to $22 a square foot, and what we got at the time, I think he said it was about 11, if I remember right. It's somewhere around there. So a wood floor, not saying we're gonna go back.
so if we went back with something like that, it would be 11, or it cost 11 when they did that.
11 when we did it, now
Okay.
14, 15, 16 in that
So
range.
it's about
So-
$4 or $5 difference for wood versus a synthetic.
But if the moisture's still there, wouldn't wood be?
No, he said when he comes out, he said if he can tell that the moisture's still there, you're right, there's basically nothing you can do. Because whatever you put down is eventually going to tear up.
Wow. I mean, they
Did
make
Slaughter
moisture
take
barriers
care of
you can
that
put down
for
on it, but it's a whole lot easier just come up
Put
with
that
some kind of.
new.
Well, it's probably,
Humidity and stuff.
yeah, it's something to do with the air conditioning and stuff in there. I mean, that's your condensation and moisture in there.
Well, generally, when you got this problem, I know a little bit about floor coatings, that's what I used to do, is the moisture's coming up from underneath.
Yeah, but
And
my question would be that floor that gym was built in 68 or 9, wasn't it? 69, I think, whatever. But until 1990 something, I've never had any problem that I know of like that.
Well, it's possible that this is what we used to run into, is that on these older slabs, they may have put plastic down to start with, but then you had a tree root or something come in there and broke the plastic. And moisture's got a way of finding ways to get there.
Right. So something made,
So it may have been, maybe the ground shifted or something,
Right.
rebar stuck a hole in something, or I don't
I
know.
see, okay.
And I've only talked to one guy that was here 7 years ago.
But it sounds like to me, eventually regardless, you're gonna have to fix that issue. Cause it don't matter what you put in there, it's gonna run it.
You gotta have something that's gonna breathe, that's what. They put a subfloor in there.
But we did pay for Slaughter, Chris Slaughter put something in there to take that moisture out. I don't remember.
They put two different things. They put.
It wasn't
They put one that's a fan supposedly blue underneath. They did that before they took the wood floor out of there. They're right, Joe.
No.
They put that.
Eddie Jackson put the thing.
I thought Slaughter came in and put something.
Slaughter put in
Huh?
What 4-Star did is they put
dehydrated.
they put the thermostats in, you register the humidity inside the gym. So that, like you're saying, the humidity got up to a certain level, no matter what the temperature was, the units kicked on to draw the humidity back out of the air.
Okay.
The subfloor, when they took the top off, was in really good shape. There's just a few spots, I only had to replace a few boards here and there, scattered throughout the gym. Moisture wasn't coming from underneath.
That's good.
Everything that came in to ruin that other floor, it was around the door,
Yeah,
if you recall.
yeah, because that's when we had to put the roof and stuff on the.
Yeah, we put the roof on.
So I was thinking there was an issue with a water fountain or something, or the water line.
Well, now that's why that water house was taken out, the backside. But that was just on that side.
So do you think that problem is fixed? Or we're gonna have moisture again?
Well, who knows? I can't answer that. I have a tendency, I'm not the floor expert. Without pulling that thing up,
rolling it up some to see what's there. I just think that the plywood is expanded a little bit like you do on roofs. You're always supposed to leave a crack, and they mortared every one of those joints,
Push the mortar up, didn't
and it's pushed.
I bet you that's what happened, because for it to be, I mean, it's perfect lines all the way through there. It's not like it's in one spot here, you know, where you think it would be the moisture.
It's exactly there, you can see it following.
Yeah, and so I guarantee, I bet you that's what's happened. It probably wasn't just the design is poor is what I would say.
I'm gonna say subfloor is fine. All we gotta do is fix the soffit.
Now, when they started that years ago, the idea, we had that replaced. They first came in and it was, if there's some type of moisture flow getting in, 'cause we had talked about taking part of the wall down to concrete, crushing it in there and fill it all with concrete, level it up. And then put that floor on top of that. But the subfloor was in really good shape.
Moisture's probably not coming in from the bottom.
I bet it's what he said. I bet it's expanded and pushed all that mortar up, because like I said, it's a perfect lines back and forth, and it's not just in where you think moisture,
No.
you know, it's like all up and
You can
down.
see them offset. Where
It's like you can see the sections of it.
plywood.
And it wouldn't, I bet if it was moisture, it wouldn't look like that. But I don't know. 'Cause I'm not.
This guy thinks he knows what the problem is.
Not me.
Oh,
The guy
I'm
that-
talking about the guy you got.
He thinks so, and he remembers coming here, and his partner or whoever, his buddy remembered coming here, and they're coming back out. He just hasn't given me a date, but he thinks he knows what it is, but he's also a salesman, so. You know,
Interesting.
So do we want to go with the same people if they sold us a bad?
That's what it sounds like to me, like.
That sounds like we want to try someone else.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder,
If
we
it,
did away, we ain't sell that product no more.
yeah, they're not, they won't put
Maybe
that
it's
back
some
down.
problems with it.
so
probably.
they didn't back it up. I mean, I would think a floor like that would last longer than 7 years.
Wouldn't have only a 1-year warranty on it.
Can we get someone else? Isn't it?
Yeah, I can always call somebody else out and have them look at it.
Yeah, I'd have a few people look at it and just see what, I mean, I know they're probably say, well, you should have put this down, but we understand that. What are we gonna do now?
This is our problem now.
Yeah.
I'll get 2 or 3 guys that are companies out.
I'm not sure. I'd trust that.
Anybody got any more questions?
We were assured that was not going to happen.
How much would you save some money?
Okay, anybody got any other questions? All right, if not, we'll close reports, we'll move on to action items. First one is considered possible action to adopt TASB local update 120.
It's this in your packet. So Miss London from Tasman was here the last 2 days. This is gonna be more generic, local policy updates. We're gonna get an annotated version so we haven't done this since 2007. I was wrong when I said 15 or 16 the other day. It's been 2007 the last time somebody was out. So we're gonna get an annotated version with notes comparing what we had in 2007 and notes with what is changing from 2020, whatever, we're in 2023. And there are a lot of changes. We don't have them yet. She is in Collinsville today, and she'll go home this weekend and she'll send our reports next week. But, you know, this is all changed, this update 120, what months did it come out? May, and she gave us 2 months, May and November, maybe? Is that?
Well, they voted in January 10th is the dates on all those LDUs and all that ones.
January, okay, so one in the winter and one in the fall. But we were, Danny, Daniel, me, Denise, we were in here for 2 solid days, learning a lot with Miss London from TASB. And, you know, just over 16, 17 years, there's a lot of things that changed, so we've updated. So,
You know, we've had a couple of bienniums since then.
as soon as she gets home, she's gonna give us the version that I can share with you guys. But we still will approve this local one for now.
Okay. Do I hear a motion on that?
I make a motion to adopt TASB local update 120 as presented.
Who seconded?
Yeah,
Joe. Motion made by Barbara, seconded by Joe. adopt the TASB local update 120 as presented. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Considering possible action to set time for Team of 8 training and planning retreat. This is something that we have to have. It's it counts 3 hours, I think, towards our education that we have to have, and we'll have to have extra this year because we are in the middle of legislature. So that means you're gonna get 3 extra hours and whatever else has been added. We don't know what else they may add. So we gotta be careful with our hours this year.
So who I want to come is Dr. Karen Rue, who I've been working with through TASA. She's an ex-superintendent, a long-term superintendent. And it's again in my report to talk about strategic planning, long-term planning for the district, 3-year to 5-year plan, to set objectives, goals, mission, vision, those kind of things. That way we can carry out the objectives that you guys have for the district. One of the things we learned yesterday or the day before was that the board does not approve district and campus improvement plans. The board set objectives and you tell us this is, you 7 people here and me and her, this is what we want the district to look like. Now you guys go implement this in the campuses. And then what we'll do, or what I'll do is we'll do that and then report quarterly, we are doing this, we're doing this, we're not doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're not doing this. And that kind of ties into my evaluation because you've set what you want this place to look like. And I give you updates and hey, Jan, y'all are getting it done, or hey, Jan, you're not getting it done. If you're not getting it done, then, that ties into me. And either we're doing a great job or we're not doing a great job. So Dr. Rue has done this. Blue Ridge, Dr. Kimball down there, Matt Kimball is the suit there. And she's worked really, really closely with them and set those and modeled for them. And what they have are, objectives and then mission, vision, and then pillars. And then this is what we want to see in our elementary school, our middle school, our high school, go do it. So that's kind of the direction that I want to go and that I see this district going. But I want to set a date with you guys and I want to make sure you're okay with that being our team of 8 this year.
Sounds good to me, but we do have to vote, don't we? Approve the improvement plan? We
No,
don't?
ma'am. You don't have to, you do not have to approve a district improvement plan or campus
I don't think we've
improvement
ever
plan.
disapproved of it. I've never heard of anybody being.
No, but it doesn't even have to go to you guys to vote. You guys set the objectives and then we present the plans to you.
But, and so like, it really has quarterly, certain things have to be checked in anyway, it should be, yeah.
So, and I'm learning this, through the classes that I'm taking and through the TASA stuff, but it's all cyclical. We do our team of 8 and then we have our goals and then we implement and then it's my evaluation and it's just yearly. And it doesn't matter who's setting, 5 years from now, who knows who's going to be in any of these seats, but we have this is what we do. So anybody that's sitting in any of these, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
This place is set up.
Check this and check it out.
Is all that in a software program so that it's a live document at all times?
We can make it however we want, but the 806 technologies, the plan for learning that we have, absolutely. All of that is in there.
Does she have some dates that she's got open?
She's open. So if we'll nail down the month, then I can give us some dates and her some dates that we can figure out. But March.
March. Are we gonna do this on Saturday?
Whenever. We didn't do Saturday last year. We did midweek, didn't we?
Yeah, but if we're gonna do it, are we gonna do it as a retreat? And that just means that the 1-day retreat, that just means going over like we've done in the past.
I can do that if I have a warning, schedule it. No.
I was looking at,
I'm not retired. Am I the only one?
I was looking at,
and you're not.
Half and half,
the 18th or the 11th or the 18th,
March or April,
March.
Is this spring break right here?
That's spring break.
Don't do spring break.
Okay.
I won't be here.
That probably doesn't mean anything to retired people. It does to me.
I can't go anytime in March.
You can't.
Can't.
Well, let's do it in April. then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to be there.
We need you there, Joe.
What about the 8th of April?
I might be fishing then too.
It's Good Friday.
No, you won't.
Good Friday.
I'll come down there and break your fishing poles. 8th to the 15th, we'll have it,
8th is the day after Good Friday.
yeah.
The day
That's
before
true.
Easter.
That's the day before Easter, so 15th or 22nd.
Let's go.
I won't be here 22nd.
15th.
Tax day, or, well, it's a little later this year.
Okay, I'll go from wherever to prom.
15th.
So April 15th, I will let Dr. Rue know tomorrow.
That's the same day as prom.
Oh.
Oh, we don't go to prom?
Dance night.
Are you going to prom?
But if we're doing 3 hours,
We were doing, if you do it, you're gonna do it like up to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Why can't we do it April 1st?
See, that's not good for me, 'cause
Okay,
I'm pulling out of town and going to Bahamas.
all right. Hey,
You down
the
there.
15th's fine with me if
I'm
it.
gonna be in the Bahamas.
I will
the 20th.
confirm this tonight.
To it.
Thanks to let me know what to do then.
All right, hold on, we got the 15th, let's look at it, 15th, and let's say we'll start. We'll go up, make breakfast that morning, meet and eat breakfast, and then have our class and do that, and then we can eat some lunch and kind of everybody will be together, and then after that, we'll come back for just a little bit, whatever she needs to do, and we'll wrap it up, and then we'll be gone.
Do you want it at the same place the hotel was last year or somewhere else?
I think that's a good place.
That's a good meeting.
It's far. Was it okay?
It was okay, yeah. And I'd rather than driving out to
it like-
Tanglewood.
Well, wait just a minute, there's a golf course right by town.
That'll make me like.
Yeah, I have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. We leave at 1 o'clock. I can be at tea time at 1:32 and I've got that made.
So we're talking, what time? Start at 9 or 8?
I'd say probably about 8 or 8:30. And then we don't have to have breakfast. I mean, we can just have snack food or whatever
Okay.
for that, and then we'll have lunch.
Well, they're gonna spoil us. We have breakfast and lunch.
But we always did that out at Tanglewood.
I'll hear tonight.
Is it Rue, like RUHU or
RUE
RUE? Okay.
is, she's some kind of director at Task now. She was superintendent at Northwest ISD and Justin in that area and
Okay.
somewhere in South Texas.
All right, I'll make a motion that we look at April 15th for our, team of eighth training and retreat, and that we'll let Chance take care of the details.
A second.
Yeah,
Why do you-
all right,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
So it's gonna be a Saturday.
All right,
I
now,
thought it was gonna be May. I'm sorry. I was thinking May. I'm gonna do it through the week. Y'all didn't want it on the weekday?
I don't care. As long as I know, I'm like you, as long as I know.
Well, I can't go in May. I'm not going fishing.
Can we do it on a weekday instead of a weekend? I was thinking it was May. I'm sorry.
You want to do is the 15th, the Saturday, the
Yeah,
14th,
that's-
the 13th then? Or the 12th or 13th of April?
let's do 13th.
Is that Thursday?
That's a Thursday.
Okay.
Since we're gonna have these.
Hold on just a minute. I rescind the
I'm
motion
sorry.
before that.
I thought we were in
I
May.
take that back. I rescind that motion. Now, is the 13th okay with you?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm doing whatever y'all say.
Yes,
Say yes.
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 Yes. And yes, okay. 13th, we'll do it at 9.
At night?
9.
9.
Oh, 9.
Because the 13th is on a Thursday. So what time we gonna start?
9, is that good?
What time are you gonna end? What time
Are we talking about in the morning? Can you get out in the morning?
I'm gonna take off.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, everybody understands that. That's
Saturday
in the morning.
grandkid ball games.
Oh, yeah, well.
During the week.
games.
Okay, just, I mean, it don't bother me, cause I'm pretty much, I can handle that.
I put in early enough, I can get off.
Me too.
April 13th.
Joe, you're not fishing that day. You play with-
Probably am, but I'm gonna have to
you
miss it.
don't play on the truck with me.
It's the 13th
13,
on Thursday.
okay,
I got a question.
okay.
Since I've done all this already, since we're gonna have an election here in April, when's the last day that some of you guys, if you don't win, will be on here?
But,
No,
Would be kind of a waste of their time.
yeah,
Still have to have three.
Oh, okay.
get up there and get free lunch, Brian.
It's up to y'all.
So,
Well, they really don't take office till June though, really.
let's see, this is,
All right, so we
Yeah.
could, it'd be hard to put off the
No,
then.
you're-
I just think we
Yeah.
might should have included you,
Don't try to stretch.
Make sure we got the real crew on here.
no. Well, that have to be brought up to speed anyway. They've gotta go through their, if, you know, if they're new, they're gonna have to go through all their training anyway. Anyway,
Just a minute.
all right, I'll make a motion that we look at April 13th. Okay, and we'll let Chance and Donna make. Name, do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Barbara. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All four, none opposed.
Dodge City girls hammered St. Joe tonight, 65-28. So I figured they'd win, but I didn't think it'd be that much.
Told you they're pretty good.
Yeah, well, they hadn't played South Taylor yet. We'll see if they get by then, then I think they're good.
We got considering possible action to approve order to call the Savoy ISD School Board Trustee elections Saturday, May 6th, 2023.
I mean, that's it. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
I make a motion.
It's when, May 26th?
May
No,
6th.
six.
May 6th, okay, I think you said May, like, well, it's gonna be June before.
You're making a motion?
No, unless one of y'all want.
Make a motion to approve the order to call the Savoy ISD School Board Trustee election Saturday, May 6, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Barbara, seconded by Ken to approve order to call the Savoy ISD School Board Trustee election Saturday, May 6th, 2023. All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Yes,
Board, I'll need y'all all to stay to sign that paper before y'all leave.
okay. Consider possible action to appoint Donna Leach as early voting clerk and Denise Pugh as assistant clerk for election polling places Savoy ISD Administration Building from 7:30 until 3:30, beginning April 24th, 2023, and ending May 2nd, 2023. Do I hear a motion?
I thought you said you make that motion when you read all that. I don't have it all to read it, but yeah, I'll make.
Make that motion.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay.
Can I legally vote on that? She's, all right. Or I would,
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with money. You ain't getting nothing out of that. No. Anyway, all right. Motion made by Terry, seconded by Sandy to appoint Donna Leach as early voting clerk, Denise Pugh as assistant clerk for election. Polling place will be the Savoy ISD Administration Building right here. From 7:30 to 3:30, beginning April 24th, 2023, and ending May 2nd, 2023. All those in favor? All four, none opposed. Consider possible action to approve order of appointment for election judges and alternates. And I think that is,
Annette Cooper and Summer
Yes.
Gillian.
we got that, we got it.
I think it's in our notes.
Let's look, it's in there, okay.
Yeah, I would look at that in the council.
Or I'll make a motion that we, put Annette Cooper as election judge and Summer William as alternative, alternate judge in precinct 2, seconded by Sandy. Yeah, motion to approve the order. Yeah. Motion made by me, seconded by Sandy. All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Consider possible action to approve authorization for superintendent and or CFO to apply for credit cards on behalf of Savoy ISD.
Ms. Pugh, will you tell them the language on that? Did it say Mr. Neal before? Is that what it was?
Before, when y'all did it, y'all gave the permission to the name of the person, and so we want to take the names off and put positions, so that way if we're gone, those that come after us can have an authorization, like right now, our credit card's still on Mr. Mills, and we've got to get that taken care of.
Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve authorization for superintendent and or CFO to apply for credit cards on behalf of Savoy ISD.
Second it.
Motion made by Ian, seconded by Sandy to approve authorization for superintendent or CFO to apply for credit cards on behalf of Savoy ISD. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Consider possible action to approve budget amendment. That budget amendment's in your notes.
And since I did those amendments, we did hear for sure that money that Janice is working on for that grant, we will be able to apply it. So we'll come back and move the money to the grant and put it back in here so that we can buy the other things that y'all want to buy.
That's $200,000 we were out today. I mean, we worked through it and got everything finalized today. We can backdate that, anything that we've done from June 1st to February 8th. So doors, intercom, what else, repeat, anything else, security and safety wise? And I think that totals 220, 240, somewhere around there. Is that right? So we're getting 200,000 of that back. So really, we've got all that for, well, we're getting all that back. So. Okay. And that 2 to 3 weeks, typically 2 to 3 months on those to go through. This one is going through in 2 to 3 weeks. So
Okay.
we'll have that soon.
Do I hear a motion?
What were can I ask what the instructional salaries, did we add, what was that?
No.
No,
So, on that, what we're doing is what I call robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Uh-huh.
So we're moving money that's in the current budget
to pay the,
so that
Got
one
it.
fund doesn't go over, one.
got it,
We're doing this right now.
So you just-
As soon as we get the money back, we're flipping it back.
for all of this, okay, got it. Thank you.
I make the motion, we approve the budget amendments as presented.
Second,
Motion made by Sandy, seconded by Barbara to approve the budget amendment as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Consider possible action to adopt the 2023-2024 school calendar.
This is a 5-day calendar we've built, so if we need to edit this, we can. But before this is approved, we found out our District of Innovation Plan. Is it 19 to 24? Is that what it was, Danny? 19 or 18 to 24 says that we cannot, with specific language in there, we cannot start school before the second Monday in August. So we're off by 1 day because that's going to be July 31st right there. And we're trying to start, that would be the first Monday in August. August the 7th. But we want to start on August the 9th. So we need to amend our District of Innovation plan. How we amend our District of Innovation plan is, well, here's saying that you can do it. DOI is amendment and renewal. So right here, we can do it at any time during that 5-year span. We do not have to start the entire process and go through it again. And it does not change the date. It is still going to go through 2024. So at that time, we will do the whole thing again in 2024. All the amendment process takes is, so this is amendment on this side, renewal on this side. So to amend our plan, our district level committee is going to meet. A majority vote of these committee members by 2/3 will say yes, that we want to basically move one day. All it affects is one day. We let Commissioner Morath know that we're doing this. We post this on our website. And then we send it to TA no later than 3 weeks, 15 business days after we do this. So we're gonna have a committee meeting. We need 2/3 approval to approve one.
We do this tonight and then you do the committee, or we wait?
Let me do the committee first. No, we can approve this tonight, but we know I've got to go back and amend it with the committee. So I'm gonna take this to the committee and say the board has approved this if the committee does.
Is there a reason why we wouldn't want to start the
15th or whatever it was?
14th or 14th or 15th?
This allows us 85.5 days in each semester, so it breaks it down perfectly evenly. We have, the state requires 75,600 minutes. This has built in 77,950 minutes, so we have a little over 5 banked days of bad weather. That way, if we had something like this year where we basically cancel a whole week of school, we don't add minutes to days at the end of the year. We don't, our calendar this year, we have off before Good Friday and the day after Easter. That's why it builds in those extended breaks throughout the year.
Keeps everything even on each semester.
85.5 on each. I mean, it's a pretty good calendar. It's a really good calendar.
So we are not gonna consider 4-day school?
We can always go back and amend this. So yesterday, Tuesday, Honey Grove approved a 4-day schedule. They are doing it. Who's in our sped co-op? Hector has taken it to the board meeting tonight. Jennifer's very, very confident that like 99% that they're going to do it.
One of my board members that's been talking to me.
Bonham has completely backed off, said no way. Blue Ridge, no way. Leonard, we're not doing it. Fannendale put out the survey. Trenton has put out a survey, but is going to, Jeremy says 99% not do it. It's in the fall, but wait until the following year to consider it again. Dodge City, not doing it.
Sam Rayburn,
0% chance. Sam Rayburn. So Lance at Sam Rayburn has implemented it at Lone Oak when he was there before. And he is really fighting in Sam Rayburn to not implement it there. So there's a lot of, even within our county, a lot of.
So he did it
division.
before and he doesn't want Sam Rayburn to go to it?
He did it at Lone Oak.
What's his reason behind that?
Yeah.
All of the ripples that come after the fact, you do all the work up, not that we will do all the work up front and all the work up front is fine, but just problems you don't foresee. And his big thing and mine kind of too. I really don't know where I am on it. There's just no data on student learning loss. We're talking about data in here and trying to get our kids to these percentages. And the older kids can handle it probably a little better, but for kids that are the younger kids that are learning to read and write and socialize, that was his big deal, how much it impacted his younger kids, but he left before he could see the finality of the decision. So, it's a great discussion. We have another SPED board meeting next Friday. And, that is number 1 on the agenda to talk about this because the co-op has to plan, their people go to all these different districts. Well, we have 4 days and Hector has 5 and Bonham has 4 and Sam Rayburn has 5. They're trying to plan and build those calendars and schedules as well. So it's, it's a lot of moving pieces.
But the personnel that moved around always followed Bonham because it was the home course. before, when they were all 5 days. Because sometimes spring break or a holiday would be
They're
different.
building individual
take it.
schedules for those now,
Wow.
for the people that.
I would be curious to know how many schools have adopted it and then went back, or if there's any that went back.
When we went to Richardson, I don't know, a month ago, the ones that we have, nobody had went back. That was the data that they had. Quinlan went there, they were the newest to do it, that we talked, or that talked to us, and their board adopted a 3-year deal. If we do it, we're going all in for 3 years. We'll evaluate after that, but we're not gonna,
Probably a smart.
do it and then just say, oops, never mind.
Was it Saltillo that's doing it also? It's one of those guys.
I don't know if they
Saltillo, I
are.
think it is Saltillo, yeah.
Saltillo.
What about Bales?
They're that way.
Yeah.
Is Bales doing it?
She hasn't said if they
They're
are.
in a different region.
Yeah.
Right, Saltillo.
Anna
They're
is-
Anna's doing it, yeah. Anna's Tug already on it. Anna just has to do it.
Yeah,
Then after, I'm sure they're gonna do it. We'll see. That wouldn't surprise me.
She's very confident that they're gonna go
Yeah.
for.
That's what I-
But what I'm proposing is we adopt this calendar and then we'll do the DOI,
Okay,
but we can always come back and amend this if we need
Okay.
to.
okay. Do I hear a motion?
For the calendar. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept it. The new calendar as it is.
Okay, do I hear a
I'll
second?
second it.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Brian to adopt the 2023-2024 school calendar as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All four, said no. Okay, superintendent's report.
I think we talked about a lot of this. Daniel hit the beta. That is gonna be June 16th, 17th through 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. 16, 17, 18 kids and 6 or 8 different events. I've got it, well, I put it in the last week of the update. So we have kids going in fiber arts, mixed media, recyclable art, hand-drawn anime, creative writing, 11th grade math, show choir, and premier performer singers. June 17th through 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. The following year is in Savannah, Georgia. The year after that is in Orlando. So we have had people ask, can we fly this year? Can we rent a charter bus this year? How can we fundraise? So those discussions are already happening. That way, we're not driving a van. And that's, I don't know, I want to say that's a pretty good haul to Louisville.
well, I do want to ask, how are those trips funded? Do they do the fundraisers or does the school? pay for
So
it?
Bear came to
Yeah.
us on early winter, as soon as that was over, Bear came to us and said, we want to get you guys some money. Let us know what we need to do. I don't know the answer to that yet. I gotta FIO figure that out.
When my daughters went to Orlando, we paid for flights and we paid quite a bit of
We
it.
paid a couple of years ago for them to fly.
We paid.
And I would
Yeah.
rather always see them fly than drive. If it was my kid, it would scare me putting them in a bus or something.
Mhm.
800 miles out there.
Yeah, that's a
I
long,
mean,
yeah.
statistically, flying's a lot safer.
Wait. So that's just who we've got going, or how many we've got going and what they're going in, and we're working on the logistics actively.
Hotel registration opened up, 2 of them are already sold out, and we're putting in rosters of kids and doing that right now.
Yeah, getting on that early, because
So we're
last
not
year,
Trying to
we were
go
scrambling.
7 miles to the convention center, we got the ones within walking distance of anything.
So this is the next thing I've got on here, if y'all don't have any more questions about beta. Are y'all good on that?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so the dual credit next. My wife has been working on this. And let me find my notes. Okay, so dual credits. And I put a little deal in front of you. So this example schedule could, not would, but could, if a kid is dedicated to doing this and wants to do this, they could earn an associate degree by the time they graduate high school. So rather than taking, let's say here, British or English 4 as a senior, they're taking British literature 1, British literature 2. So that's where they get their English credits. So they could get this upon and before high school graduation. It would begin with our current freshman class. our current sophomores, juniors, and seniors would not be eligible to do this whole realm of classes. They could take similar, but they wouldn't be able to get all 18, what's the math there? 18 plus 18 plus 24, 50, 36 plus 24. 60. Oh, yeah, 60 hours. Yeah, 30 and 30. That's a lot easier way to say it. So core classes are kind of set with their replacement, Brit Lit instead of English. There's always flexibility with the electives. We didn't know that we had credits for the TSI test through Grayson. But we had $300, $400, $500 worth of credits. And so our kids can take this TSI test, which will make them college ready. There's two parts. There's the English part, there's a math part. If they pass them, they're college ready, they can take college classes. So we just started kind of digging and found out we can do this for all of our kids for like $300, $400. All of our kids in high school can take this test because of the credits we have. So we want to test our kids, make them college ready. It doesn't help. I mean, it gives us our CCMR stuff and this is a great deal. Daniel, do you want to talk about it at all?
So one of the things that we have the option to do of having Grayson come out or having our students go to take the TSI at Grayson, with Ms. Moritz taking the initiative and getting certified and to administer the TSI at our campus, it's gonna save us, it's gonna cut our costs in half to be able to do that. So that's something that she's taking the initiative on and really wants to see our students, and not just for getting that CCMR credit, but to see our students, make that decision for the next thing. It's also gonna help us in our scheduling where our students kind of naturally split, and we have our dual credit courses full, and we have even students that are 0 hour that are taking maybe just a college class that's not a dual credit, like college algebra or something like that. It may not replace or be a 1-for-1, but it gives them an opportunity to take something that they would need in college while they're here. And we also know that students that are on free lunch are free tuition, reduced lunch, reduced tuition, and then on 4-5. So give students an opportunity to have reduced cost college credit, where we're not going into debt, we're not doing those things. But something that we really wanted to, up our offerings for what we're offering to be competitive. I know that there are a lot of schools that offer 30 to 50 to 60 hours of college credit for those students who feel so inclined and are driven like that. So we're, again, the better model. We're getting better, offering more, giving our students opportunity for success.
What about CPE courses? The career and technology?
Yeah, at the college level or at the high school level?
College, like welding and machining and.
This is just, your basic,
Right.
We haven't reached out about that
Okay.
yet, just your basic, your associate degree, your associate's degree where whenever I go to, if I want to go to UNT or whatever, I can go into my major, I can go into exercise and sports science, or I can go into criminology or forensic science or whatever it may be.
Are you gonna work on CTE as well?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. The more, to me, this ties into the 4-day and the pay for teachers and just what can we do to recruit teachers here? Because one of our goals in our district improvement plan, we have 6 goals listed on there. And number 3 or 4 is recruiting and retaining high quality staff and highly qualified staff. Well, if we have teachers with kids, man, we can get 60 hours of our kid knocked out like that while they're, in our presence. That saves a lot of money. It brings people here. We may not pay the most and we might not have a 4-day, but we have stuff like this. Like Daniel said, we're on that path to be better in everything we do. And we're always, we're exploring any and all options. And of course, this is just a very, very preliminary draft. That's why it has draft. Right
So
across
does
it,
it
but-
still work like I think it always has? Grayson does things by online, our teachers online, but then there's an aide in the classroom
Yes, ma'am.
that does it. And do y'all think that the aide is able to handle that well?
We've had at least one certified teacher ask if can I be the person that runs the dual credit? Can I help the kids with this? So there are aides that can do it. There are certified teachers that can do it. That's just up to Daniel to schedule best for his campus and see the best fit for our kids and always the kids in the building, but adult schedule as well. But yes, I think I think, yeah, it takes somebody. You gotta have the right person in there. You can't just put anybody in there.
Did you have a chance to look at what other schools do whenever a student's not passing their dual credit? I know we had a student incident. I was just curious.
I did not call any superintendents to see what they do. I know Daniel and Marissa are just, I don't wanna say,
Yeah, our policy on that will say that it's a 2-semester credit. The policy is that student would then have to remediate first semester of what they missed. So let's say it's government economics for a senior. Well, they're not getting credit for government. Now we have to take that course on our credit recovery program, because small school, we don't offer government in 2 semesters.
Right.
And that also rules them ineligible to take that dual credit course in the spring. So they would have to take
the seat time class.
Yeah, they would have to, seat time, economics, and now they'd be on Edgenuity for government. So now they're doubling up with that. So they've lost an elective, or they've lost that early release. So it is, and they're out whatever
Money.
$400 or whatever too. So
No, that we've got to be very intentional when we present this to parents, and very detailed, that if you have to stay on top of it, we will remind you, we'll do everything, just, because you are a college student now with this, but you're still our student.
Do they have to have certain grades before they can even sign up for that, or is there a?
it's just
Bench-
the Texas.
You gotta pass the
TSI, they have to reach the threshold on the TSI, verbal and the TSI math.
That'd be college.
That is what the state of Texas says, you're ready for college.
Right.
If you're 12 years old and you score this on your ACT
You can
and
take it.
TSI exempt, then you are.
We've administered it down to as low as 7th graders. Now they're not ready for college class.
Right.
Done that. Not here, in a previous semester. But right here, students must pass that test to be deemed
Okay.
college ready.
Makes sense. FYI, gents, that was Sulphur Bluff, not Saltillo, going to the 4-day. I looked it up on something. Yeah. I don't know if you know anybody there.
I'm glad to see this.
It's a neat deal. It's opportunities for our kids. And some, like the kid I mentioned that I had to go to Thurman to get her back over here and meet with her mom. She would, when I met with them. I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to do that. I may do this. I may do that. No, we can't kind of and may and wish and want, because that's just a wish. It's not a plan. We are going, we sat down and made an action plan. This is what I'm going to do now. So when college time comes around, I can go there and I can enroll in these classes. Because if we let kids just say, I may do this and I may do that, and I kind of want to do this, well, they're not going to do it. But if they have this, and like the cyclical thing we talked about earlier, check it off, boom, I've got whatever, in Comp 1, Comp 2, college algebra. I'm checking this off as I go. It's good. It's a cool deal.
It's not a one or all though, is it?
No, you don't have.
That's what I knew it hadn't been in the past.
Yeah, there's not a certain
You
pathway.
can pick and
Yeah.
choose.
To one or the other. It opens
Did she come back?
doors.
That's the-
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And it's been doing, I told her, they blew me off, no call, no show, whatever day it was, and I thought, they're testing me. So I called mom, they ignored my phone call, I finally got hold of her. We had a meeting scheduled for 9:00 Friday morning. I'm so sorry. Can I come? Yes, ma'am, you may come. So she came, Tuesday at 9:00 in the morning, and we had a great meeting. I told the daughter, I'm making an appointment to see you at, what time do you get to school? She's a later hour, 10:30 on Wednesday. I'll see you at 10:30 on Wednesday. I went, met with her, had a great conversation, and I think it's gonna be a success story, and it needs to be a success story.
That's good.
Okay.
Do we have any seniors sign up for the Promise Program? I think they get a scholarship of some type. I don't know a lot about.
Yes, we do. And when did they come? It's been a few months, right?
We've had several pledges. Again, we are part of it based on just our location. And then I don't know that any students have, many students will have been accepted to these 5
Right.
universities. But as far as enrollment, we don't have any there. I do know that there is a junior that is exceptionally excited about the GAP scholarship, because of some of the promise. So
Good.
these folks are.
I bet a dad too, huh?
They're gonna start a parent promise, apparently, because the parents, how can we get this? So that's in the works now.
Really?
So
How cool. Well, the next thing there is we talked about it already, our school safety standards grant that was, I can't say awarded today, but it was guaranteed today. It'll be awarded in 2 to 3 weeks, which will put $200,000 back in our schools for anything safety related. I have interviews on there because, well, at the time when I typed this up, we had around 30 applicants, resumes, emails about our head football position. Probably had about 5 more since then. So we're up to the 35 range. 35 people interested, asking me about the job. When this opened last year, we had maybe 5 at this time, or not many. So the interest is there. The questions are there. We brought people in all last week and multiple times this week. So we've had some quality people.
Do we have any interviewing for the maths? True.
I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Roof updates. Joe, when are they bringing the stuff out here?
Monday, they're gonna start off here with me.
And they're gonna store it over in the parking lot of the high school. The roof is, they're gonna start that project very soon with Coriel Roofing that we approved a few months ago. Inspections, those are our door inspections, our safety audit inspections is what I had it as. They were here yesterday. They hit the high school campus. We passed 100%. We did not have any exterior doors open. They were escorted to the office immediately. Daniel's doors checked, door sweep logs were all there. We are safe and secure. And I had already talked also about the policy review and update and the team of 8 training. So that's my superintendent reports.
Did you write the grant that we got to school safety?
No. I didn't write it. No, ma'am.
Well,
I just feel.
congratulations to whoever wrote the grant. That's awesome.
Is that you, Denise?
No, it's one where you go in and fill out.
Oh, you just
Fill
filled it out.
everything out.
Not ideal.
Non-competitive grant, okay. And restricted to the safety, right? Okay.
You have to.
Yeah,
it's
that's
very detailed.
grand, you saved it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. You through with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at this time, it's 8:37. I make a motion that we go into executive session 551.074 personnel to deliberate to appoint employment, evaluation, resignation, duties, discipline or dismissal of a public officer employee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And
I'll
Ken,
second.
Ken seconded.
The restroom.
All those in favor? I'm sorry.
Sit late. It's good to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, good to see you, Jeff. It's 9:34. I make a motion. We come out of executive session. Do I hear a second? All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Is there any business coming out of executive session?
Make a motion to extend the 1 year on Danny Henderson's current certified administrator 11-month term contract with a raise of 3% to be effective August 1st, 2023.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Barbara. As she said.
We got you. I got you.
On Danny Henderson. Marvin seconded it. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? All 4 and unopposed. Any other motions?
I make a motion to offer Daniel Cates a 2-year certified administrator, 12-month term contract with a raise of 3% to be effective July 1st, 2023.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Ken, second by Marvin. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 7-4, none opposed. Any other motion?
I make a motion to extend 1 year on Denise Pugh's current certified business administrator 12-month term contract with a raise of 3% to be effective July 1st, 2023.
Second.
Seconded. Motion made by Ken, seconded by Barbara. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 6-4, against? 0. Abstain. Brian Hughes, abstain.
Got 6-4.
6-4 and 1 no against and 1 abstain. All right. I want to thank each and every one of you guys and girls. Thank y'all for the job y'all do. I appreciate it, so does the board. Okay. All right. Now, don't forget, stick around here, you gotta sign something. here in a minute.
I gotta sign more.
At this time. 9:37, I make a motion that we adjourn. Do I hear a second?
A second.
Seconded by Ken, all those in favor? 7-4, none opposed.